did that start taking kind of a toll on you guys?
Oh yeah. Like the lifestyle of a daily vlogger in relationships is really difficult to navigate in a healthy way. And we didn't know we were so new to this. Like no one was really doing this. So there was no stories we heard about other couples that did this, you know?
Yeah.
So like, things got tough. Like we would, in relationships, you have fights and disagreements. There'd be a day where we're fighting and disagreeing, but then we got to fire the camera on and put on a smile and pretend we're like, not everything's good. Like, so that kind of stuff could get toxic in a relationship. And it started just blurring the lines of reality and reality television show in your own personal life. Yeah. And then you're posting on the internet and letting hundreds of thousands of people comment on it. So it was like definitely something that was your mental health for sure.
And I'm sure at this point, every time you go out, I'm sure you guys were getting stopped everywhere you go.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like it. Like it felt cool to like for people to recognize us. Except at an event like VidCon or Playlist Live, it was too much. Yeah, it was too much.
That was like a swarm, right?
Yeah, it was too much. But to get recognized here and there was really cool. It was always like I would be humbled by it, but I know some YouTubers are all crazy now.
Yeah, no, some people have very large egos for sure, and like stay away from like no, it's definitely a very humbling thing. It's something that will never get old. Obviously, there's some moments where it's a little awkward. Like I've been at like funerals and people start yelling. I'm like, buddy, like not right now. First off, what are you yelling about me for? I've been washed up for 10 years now. But don't there's time and place to kind of like start making a scene. And
for me, it's kind of fun sometimes because I'll be like on a date. And the girl doesn't really know that like I have this YouTube career past or something. She doesn't really know much about my entertainment stuff because I kind of like keep it a secret. And then I'll get all recognized. I mean, I paid that person to say hi to me or something. She's like, what? She's like, why are all these people? And there's always like the person at the movie theater that works like, oh, Jesse, or the waiter like, oh, Jesse.
That's cool.
And I'm like, yeah.
I feel like older in life too, it's probably cooler. Like, as I got older, I kind of appreciate it more too. When I don't know how to explain it, but like when I was in my early 20s and in the midst of all of it, maybe
but it was little kids that would say hi to us. So it was kind of like cringy. You're like, this little 14-year-old is coming to take a photo. I'm like, well, that's 14. But now they're 30. And I'm like, there's a real person
and they
now.
hook you up now, probably at the steakhouse. That's it is a really interesting experience. Your fans are 30, which is crazy because ours are like getting at the 21, 22, 23. So even when you're telling me like you have 30-year-olds going, it's so early, man. People got to put some respect on your guys' name, and been doing it for so long. You guys mentioned that at the end of kind of you and Jeana's relationship, like there was a big struggle at the end of it because of this, what we're talking about, everything being on camera and being on YouTube. Was there like a turning point or like a certain thing that kind of was like, all right, this is becoming way too much?
I mean, yeah. I mean, so her and I were doing daily. I think we got to like 6 years until we finally took a break.
6 years straight?
6 years straight of video every day.
You just talked about Charles Trippy for the whole... You could spend like 5 minutes praising him. 6 years is insane.
Yeah, but Charles is probably at like 12, 14. I don't know what he's at. But 6 is a lot. Yeah, it was a lot.
That's 1,800 videos at least. Yeah. It's like 2,000 videos.
There's a lot of videos. Yeah. A lot of videos.
And you're editing every single one of them.
I'm editing them. If not, Jen might have edited a couple, but I was primarily me. But it made me a really good editor. Like a really good storyteller. Yeah. Because I'm like every day another story. So like a lot of practice. But yeah, it was definitely getting to be a lot on our relationship. And like Jen and I, at the end of our relationship, we were together for 10 years. I guess, I don't know, we just grew into two different people. And it was like, for me back then, I wasn't really good at communication. Like I definitely grown now. And I think I was so unconscious. I call it like head in the cloud syndrome. A lot of these YouTubers have it, where they don't know anything outside of YouTube. Yeah. Right? And everything is YouTube. Everything and they can't see, and they don't take advice from anyone because they're super popular and famous. And they're like, whatever you're saying is wrong because what I've been doing has been working. Right? So whatever they don't, and I was one of those people. I was up in that thing. And I think I wasn't conscious of what was happening to our relationship. Right? And I was just unconscious to that. My mom was having a hard time. She was a drug addict and serious mental health issues were happening with her. And at this whole time, I'm still like very busy with YouTube. So it was like, it was stressing me out. Yeah. And then there was a point in my career where I had to make a decision. I was shooting the prank show, the show in Los Angeles, and my mom was in prison for 6 months. I think she was in about 6 months, which was good because she was getting sober. It was the only time she could, beat it. And at that time, me and Jen were shooting this. We got like a $3 million budget from YouTube to make this show. Biggest thing we've ever done in our career. And it was the last weekend of the shoot. And my grandmother passed away and my mom get out of jail at the same time. And I decided to not come home for the funeral because we're shooting a show. My mom, I was on the phone with her. She was like, yo, we're really proud of you. She's like, you should stay and whatever. Boom. I was like, cool, I'll be there. I'll be there next week. See you then. And then when I came home, my mom, I can talk about this now because it's been so long and I'm so healed from it all. But my mom committed suicide. She went missing. So when I came home, she was missing. And she's tried this before where she attempted suicide and we couldn't find her, but we found her in time and she was in a coma for like 2 months and then she beat it. So, but it was the same situation again where she's missing and these pills are missing. So we're all thinking the worst, that she's trying to commit suicide. So at that time I'm still daily vlogging, right? So I'm like, I don't remember what if I like had to like fake it. Like I didn't want to put that in my vlogs, like my personal, I was like, there's no way I'm talking about this in the vlogs. And then for like that entire week, I was like looking for her, driving around where she was living and trying to find her car. And then, the cops eventually found her car and she's passed. And I can't, my head is so in the clouds. Remember I told that head in the clouds things?
Yeah.
And like this stress and all these things, I can't even remember. I feel like I blacked it out at this point, like where my head was at. And then I just like walked up to Jen. I was like, I'm breaking up with you. And I walked out the door.
No way.
And she was like, what?
Wow.
Like, and I didn't even like communicate I was just like losing it. And then like, I like packed 2 suitcases and just went to New York City.
Oh man.
And I think we were still vlogging. I think I was just pretending we were together. But the internet didn't know that like I'm like going through this crazy emotional thing. And like I wasn't using, everyone thought I was like on drugs and stuff with my family, but I did 0 drugs. I guess like I broke it off with Jen. And I think my new drug was just like, meeting new women, right? Just getting attention from somebody else. It was my way of numbing the reality of what was going on. And I was hurting Jen more, and it was like really bad. I have so much grief around the way I showed up at that time in my life that it was just like my life was falling apart and I'm like faking it on these YouTube vlogs. Oh, we're great. And then I was like, I can't live this double life anymore, Jen. We need to tell everyone that we broke up. She's like, fine. And that's when we made that breakup video.
Yeah.
And I think that's when we stopped daily vlogging at that point. It was like, I finally stopped. And then for those next 4 years, I was in a dark spot. I probably didn't make any YouTube videos, really. I was just distracting myself with the most toxic relationships. And then I was moved to Los Angeles and I met like a really good community of like doctors actually.
Really?
And they pulled me out of it.
Wow.
They pulled me out of it and that's what happened. And I don't think the internet really knew. I think I talked about this on Roman's podcast once, but other than that, no, I didn't really talk about it.
I mean, that's a lot. Obviously, that's a very rough, there's just so many emotions that you must have been going through at that time.
Yeah.
And again, the head in the clouds thing is very real. I think I've seen it all around me too. It's so easy to be blinded by what's going on, especially every day you're looking at your analytics and you're looking at this and that. Like it's like worse than drugs.
Right. And I feel like a lot of people put their self-worth in the amount of engagement they get.
100%.
So it's like, yo, I got no engagement on this video and then you're going to feel for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I'm worthless.
It consumes you more than, even if you don't want it to, you can't help it. That's one of the worst parts. I didn't daily vlog. I made daily YouTube videos for a long time. It's very, again, I'm not trying to act like, obviously it's a very blessed position to be in, but there is a layer of that people really would never understand and something that a lot of YouTubers share. And I had this reflection recently about like child actors, for example. I feel like YouTubers and child actors have this similar trait where it's like they reach a lot of success very early on. And then there's this, whenever that stops or they get over it or whatever, there's always a hard crash.
Yeah.
Not always, but a lot of the time, unless there's a good support system, which thankfully you found here in California. Sorry, of course, to hear about that whole story. With I feel like when you mentioned your mom going missing, I feel like I remember seeing that on Twitter. Was it not public?
Yeah, I think around that time I was like, I didn't know what to do during that week she was missing. I was like, yo, if you see this car with this license plate, this is my mom. She's missing.
Okay, so you just kind of briefly talked.
Yeah, I can't like remember. I can't even remember what was going on that week. Yeah. It was bad.
That's a rough week. Yeah. I didn't realize. I didn't know that the breakup was during
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks after my mom. I just didn't know. I didn't know. I was just lashing out, and I was just like,
I mean, it's understandable. It's a lot happening.
I have a lot. Yeah, I have so much grief around it, like I said, and the way I showed up to Jen around that part. But I almost feel like she can understand, but I did still hurt her, and it's like we're at a good place now.
Yeah,
we're at such a good place now.
I've seen you guys. If someone like myself, it's always nice to open my YouTube and see you both in the thumbnail together. You know, years later, you've visited. Even recently, you're in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I was in New York recently. Whenever we're in the same city, we try to hang out.
It's cool. I think that is, you know, a sign that you guys got everything figured out later on. And I'm sure she understands. That's a lot going on at once. Yeah. I remember being a viewer, seeing that video, and you know, being shocked also, of course. But it's just insane for me, thinking of like all the people probably disliking the video at the time, leaving comments or whatever, and they have no idea the story that's going on in the background and how rough that is.
Yeah, it's just this game of YouTube, man.
Yeah,